Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to be modifying the vise that I have on my small welding station. This welding station is made to be able to attach to any number of workstations that I have, but the actual mounting bracket for the welding station is usually attached to my anvil base. Sitting on the anvil is the old vise that I'm removing from the welding station, and the small blue vise on the welding station is what I'm going to be installing and modifying today. Unlike most of the tools that I have set up, this welding station bracket is made in two parts. There's the lower half, which is actually attached to my anvil, and then the upper bracket is basically just a round pipe that slides into another round pipe. So I can remove it from the anvil and quickly move it over to a storage unit that I have mounted to the wall. The adjustable arm that you see here is another attachment that I can use with the welding station, but it adds an awful lot of weight to it, so I leave it here until I need it, and that allows me to just move the base around. So when I need to do some welding, this is really the only part that I need to move around. This is minus the vise, of course. The adjustable arm slides onto that pipe that sticks out one side of the base and basically just gives you that third hand that you often need when you're welding. The welding table can swing around in this pipe, so I have a turn screw here that just allows me to lock it in position when I need to do that. I don't have a welding table, so when I need to fabricate something, I can't just lay everything flat and use gravity basically to help me set everything up. So I usually need to set things up vertically, and I'll start by setting something up in the vise and then using some configuration to hold another element in place until I can tack it. And then at that point I can move it around or do whatever I need to get the thing finally welded. I don't do any production work, so this isn't really a big inconvenience. If I fabricate 10 or 15 things a year, that's a pretty busy year for me. So I've been developing this system over a number of years, and it gives me the versatility that I need when I do need to set something up, but it doesn't take up the amount of room that I don't have when I don't need it, which is, most of the time. The modification that I'm going to be doing today is that I'm going to be adding two tables to the jaws of the vise. And these tables are going to allow me to use something like a welding magnet or a vise grip or something to hold a small part that needs to be welded to the part that I have clamped in the jaws. So I'm going to be welding these two metal plates to the steel jaw inserts of the vise and then bolting everything back in position. To prep the vise jaws, I'm going to be grinding a pretty good bevel on the inside face of each jaw because this needs to be welded and the weld needs to be ground flat with the surface of that vise jaw. So if I don't have that relief there, I won't have anywhere for the weld to sit. I'm going to be using 6011 to put this together, so it does dig a pretty good trench as you go, but you still need to have something there to start with. The nice thing about this setup is that I'm still going to be able to use the vise to clamp everything in position. By clamping the pieces tightly in the vise, that should really minimize the distortion that you normally get as you're welding unsupported pieces. And for these tables to work well, they really need to be sitting as flat and parallel as possible. To weld these tables to the jaws, I'm going to be tack welding one face and then allowing that weld to cool all the way down to almost room temperature before I unclamp the piece. And then I'll repeat this process for all the welds on both tables. So that worked really well. This first table is almost dead on. Welding the jaw for the back of the vise is going to take a little more time. The inside edge I'm going to be able to do the way I did the front face because the long table can just extend out the top of the vise. But the front face of the jaw I'm going to have to do in two parts because I can only get half the face clamped at one time. If I try to weld the part of the face that isn't clamped in the vise, it'll pull that side of the table around and distort it. So here's basically how I plan to use this. If I have something in the vise and I need to weld some short bar to it at a 90-degree angle, I can simply clamp that bar to the table. Or if I need to weld the bar at an angle, I can use a welding magnet or some kind of blocking to set up the angle. And if I need to set up something a little more elaborate, I can install the adjustable arm and clamp whatever I need onto that. And when I'm done with it, it's just a matter of pulling it out of the base and dropping it into the storage bracket on the wall of the shop. Hi, I'm Dennis, and thanks for watching. If you're interested in supporting this channel, the simplest way, of course, is to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have questions and you want to contact me directly, you can do so by emailing me at either one of the addresses that I have listed here. It may take me a couple of days, but I will get back to you. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.